everyone, it's Siobhan here. Today's hair idea is actually inspired by a film called The 300, and the character that I am basing this on is Queen Gorgo, who's played by Lena Heady, and of course Lena Heady is also Queen Cersei on Game of Thrones. So to say that I am a fan of hers is a little bit of an understatement. I was excited to do this video, and I'm going to present two different ways of doing this. One is going to be a little bit more accurate to, I guess, what I saw in the film, and then the second one is going to be kind of like my own sort of variation using like a figure 8 braid. So I hope you guys like the video, and yeah, I'm gonna just carry on with it. For the first version of this, there's a few things that you're gonna need. They're kind of the same for both versions, but with one like difference. Obviously a comb and a hairbrush. You're gonna need some sort of like mirror so you can check everything that's going on in the back. And it's really important that you have some sort of tiny little elastic. I like the clear ones because I have light colored hair and they blend really well. You don't see them as much. But if you've got dark brown hair or black hair, I'd suggest using like a little black elastic. And the extra thing that you're gonna need is, this is not ribbon. It is like, I guess like a piece of suede kind of. My aunt in Greece, she actually has rolls and rolls and rolls of this because she uses this when she makes jewelry. But you can find it in a local arts and crafts store. This is kind of what she had in her hair. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. It was some sort of like leather material. And for this version, it's just a wraparound kind of. So this holds better than a ribbon. I was experimenting with ribbon and I found that the ribbon kind of just slides and goes in every different direction. So this also just adds more weight to the actual like braids that'll be here in the front, the wrapped braids. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But yeah, for this first version, I'd suggest going into a craft store and trying to find stuff like this. I got yellow. Hers were like gold or copper in the film, and I honestly don't know how long this is. I don't know, but it'll be up to you how long you want yours to be. So the hair is divided into 5 small sections here at the front of the face. So I'm gonna start with the first one, which is right here. And how you can measure it is like the arch of your eyebrow up and take a pretty hefty chunk. Well, not hefty, but a nice big chunk here at the front. Let me ponytail the rest of my hair out of the way for now just so I can show you what I'm going to do. And I've got my little clear elastic and I'm going to ponytail this off. Now there's a couple ways you can secure the suede string to your hair, and it's ultimately up to you however you feel most comfortable. You can just tie the little ponytail and then tie the string in a knot, but because it's suede, I found that the knot is a little bit bulky on my relatively thin hair. So what I've been doing is once I've got it kind of looped a few times, I take this little string and I slip it through just a tiny bit. And now I'm going to tie it again. Now I've got the first piece done, and see how it's just looped through a little bit. And this is where you get to be creative and you can wrap it however you want. At first when I was looking at it during the film, it kind of looked like it was braided through, but it's not. It's literally just a wrap around. So you take the string and wrap it around your elastic first, and then you're going to wrap it the length of your hair. When you run out of string, you just take another clear elastic and tie it off. So now I'm going to make my other sections for the other 4 wrap braids. First thing, I'm going to start about here and take a pretty hefty chunk from the front, right about here. And see, the part kind of just meets my ear. So here's one. And there's the other. Now I'm gonna work on these two sections last, but I gotta do the two that are right here first. I noticed that the three here at the front, kind of, there's this one here from like the arch of the eyebrows, and then the entire side are devoted to two sections. So the other two are about here. So you want to grab sections that are like, I guess kind of like if you were wearing devil horns, they'd be like right here on your head. So these are like, I'm gonna call them like the devil horn sections. They don't have to be like super thick, but thick enough that the string will wrap around them nicely. So holding my elastic out, taking another one of my strings, passing it through just a little bit. Got two sections left. Tie them fairly high up on the head. After I finished my braids, I made curls with a curling iron, just because it's kind of fast. But whatever curling method you want to use, you can use. I'm sure braid waves would look really pretty with this also. I'm just trying to keep in theme with what the actress was wearing. She had her hair in these sort of loose, soft curls. So there's only one thing left to do after everything is kind of done, and that is sort of to pin these together. Now, you can also tie them together, but I'm going to try and use my bobby pins. So I've got a couple of these like gold toned bobby pins. I'm going to start with the center braid. I'm just going to bring a side one over. I'm going to join them in the middle with the bobby pins. And I'm going to try and do it from underneath and see how that works. Kind of want to join them all in the same place, like right in the center. I forgot to curl the ends of my braids. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. Basically, I'm just grabbing a little bit of hair from each of the rolls and just kind of pinning them together. And oops, this one got a little loose. I'm trying to match them up so that they look like they're all joining in the center. I'm laying them out pretty evenly at the back of my head too, or as evenly as I can. So that's pretty good. If you feel like they're not that secure, you can always go back and do like an extra pin, or as I said, you can just kind of tie them together. A little bit of an extra string there, but whatever. But there you go. This is as close as I can get it to, like, I guess the movie version. And the suede string is great because it's weighty in a different way. Like, you know, ribbon is very slippy and slidey, and so it moves all around and everything. And you can just kind of, but you can adjust this string and it'll stay in place. So that's kind of why I like it. And yeah, this is the first one. So hope you guys like this one. This second version of the Gorgo hair is just something that I am kind of taking some liberties with. One of my favorite braids to do is a figure 8 with a ribbon. And I actually have a video up on this already. It was like one of the first that I ever recorded, so I'm going to put it in the information bar below. And I am going to do a small demonstration just in case you guys haven't seen it or don't know how to do this. Basically, you gather all your hair into some sort of ponytail. And you're going to need a ribbon. And the ribbon, it kind of depends on how long your hair is. Just for this demonstration, I guess this is almost like 1.5 feet or something. And again, there's a couple ways you can secure this to your hair. I'm just going to tie it around the elastic. Oops, if I can get my fingers around the ribbon. Okay. Tying it around the elastic. And then what you do is you divide your hair into 2 pieces. This is really a very easy pattern to create. You basically take your ribbon and you go under the first strand and over the second. And then you go under again, under the second strand, and over the first. So it's an under-over. And you're kind of rotating between the 2 strands. So now it's gone over, going under. I actually love this braid, and I don't wear it as often as I could, I guess, just because I don't usually have an occasion to wear it. And also it takes a minute to create. For me, it's kind of similar to a fishtail braid in that, you know, it takes longer than a regular braid. So I guess this is for a special occasion kind of thing. So of course the red elastic doesn't really match the brown ribbon, but that's what it looks like. That's a figure 8. And I have seen videos on YouTube where you can do this with your own hair, but if your hair isn't super, super long, it's gonna be kind of the same thing. It'll end just about here. So I tend to use ribbon because I like the braid to go all the way to the end. But this is just a little demonstration so that you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to be making the same 5 sections and then just doing figure 8 braids. For my 5 ponytails, I decided to use a very thin yellow ribbon. And I kind of just measured with my eyes. Again, I think this is a little over 1 foot, maybe it's 1.5 feet, 2 feet. But yeah, it doesn't go all the way down the length of my hair, but that's okay because in the actual film it doesn't go down the length of her hair either. It just kind of covers, I guess, half of her length, so that's good. And because this is so thin, this ribbon is so thin, I don't have to slip it through the elastic like I did in the first version. I can actually just tie it around the ponytail and make a knot, and it's not a problem because the knot is so small, so you don't even notice it really. Now that I finished my braids, I am going to use a curling iron to curl the rest of my hair. This is optional. Again, you can use any curling method you want. I'm just using the iron because it's the fastest one. Braids like I did in the last version, I'm going to tie them together with an extra ribbon. This is the finished version. So I quite like the figure 8 braid. If you end up having little bald spots, I have a few. You can always just adjust the ribbon by pushing it up and down on the braid, which is neat. And yeah, maybe one of these ideas will work for you for Halloween. I'm going to put several links in the underbar below. I tried to do research on the actual Queen Gorgo, and as it turns out, I couldn't really find very much on the internet about her. But she was one of the few Greek women in history who was the daughter of a king, married a king, and then had a baby who became a king. So definitely royalty. The other thing about her is that Leonidas was not just her husband, but he was also her father's brother. So he was her uncle. I did not know that. And she's said to have been very, very intelligent. Yeah, I'll put like a link to her Wikipedia page in the information bar below. I also found a documentary, I think I posted it with one of my favorites videos a couple of weeks ago, about the actual Battle of Thermopylae. It's History Channel, it's about an hour and a half long, so that will be underneath. There is also going to be a 25-minute video that I found about just Spartan life in general. And then as I said, I couldn't find anything specific to Queen Gorgo, but I did find some like essays about, sorry, that's my phone going ding. I found some specific essays about the differences between Athenian women and Spartan women, because as you know, Greece was not like totally united. It was all these city-states, and Sparta and Athens, they hated each other. And as it turns out, Athenian women had almost no rights at all and were basically no better than slaves, whereas in Sparta, this very militaristic society, women had a part to play, and they definitely were heard more often, and yeah, I don't know, they seem to have had more rights at the time. And as badass as the Spartans were, if you think about it now, it just kind of seems like a very scary cult-like society, and also a lot of child abuse, or at least in retrospect, like today we would view the way they treated their children as child abuse. But it seemed to work for them, not for forever, but it did during that period of history, and it's very, very interesting. So like I said, all those links will be in the information bar below. I hope you guys liked either of these looks. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!